everyone, Jon the Wireless Guy with Ron from Radiant Technology Solutions. And Ron, so tell us about what you guys do.
Well, we are a small business IT service provider. We work primarily business to business, and we help the small business owners relieve some of that stress from their computers and their employees bugging them about their computers and system downtime and internet issues and all kinds of fun stuff.
Wow, very nice. I'm sure they appreciate you.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
So now, and you also go to your clients as well if they need you to help
Correct,
set up and all that as well.
Yeah, I'd say about 70% of it we can do remotely,
Okay.
but that other 30% we got to go out there and kind of get some hands-on and get in the dirt and get them up and running.
Very nice, very nice. And so I wanted Ron to be with us today on another coffee talk, if you will, to let us know
Where's
in terms of, I know, I have a water, my water bottle. Got to drink my water. So we have invisible coffee right here. And so wanted Ron with us today to talk about security in relation to devices, right? Our cell phones, our tablets, even computers. Let's call it the top three, if you will. Ron, what are the top three things that we can do to help protect ourselves and our devices?
Well, we all have one of these in our phone, in our pockets nowadays. It's another computer that we're carrying around, and through it we access all kinds of information. You can access your company email, your files, pictures of your family, all kinds of stuff. You want to make sure the device is encrypted, for starters. You want to make sure that you got a good password in place. Beyond that, you really want to focus in on the applications you have on there and make sure those applications are secure, password protected, and have multi-factor authentication enabled everywhere you can.
Okay. So with multi-factor, that would be, let's say that's a top one, right? Or number one, not necessarily order because they all kind of hinge on each other. But two-factor authentication, whether they have Apple or Android, what are some ones they can use that are out there?
I use both. There's a Microsoft Authenticator app I use quite often, and then the Google Authenticator app as well.
Okay.
So those are the two that I primarily use.
Okay. And then Apple has one as well, I believe, also. Okay. So with those, and what two-factor is, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I go to log in and it sends a code to my device, and then I have to put that code in to log in addition to my password. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
You can. There's different ways you can do it. You can have it send you an email with a code. You can have it shoot you a text with a code, depending on the application. The apps I use, the codes change constantly. So like every 60 seconds, it's a new code. So I don't know if you ever saw one of those old RSA tokens that people would log into their bank with. It's essentially the same thing.
Okay. And besides that one, what would be a secondary one that we could use to help with security on our devices?
A secondary method to protect
Yeah.
data? Okay. Well, definitely you want to back up your information as much as possible. If you lost your device or it falls in the pool, or these are waterproof nowadays. But, if it, whatever the case may be, you always want to make sure you have a backup of that information, especially your family photos. Those are precious to you. Other than that, all the applications like Office with your email and stuff like that, those should all be backed up elsewhere.
Okay. So typically your emails on the phone, they all have a separate cloud backup.
Correct.
Your Microsoft, your Google, Apple, I believe, is linked into with the cloud because that's how they have everything.
Correct.
So you definitely want your username, which is typically an email, and a password. Speaking of passwords, I guess that maybe be the number third, where we want a good, strong password. What are your recommendations for that?
Well, I always say a good password's number one.
Okay.
But just keep it complicated, keep it different per application, per device. You don't want to use the same password all over the place because somebody gets that one password, then they're in everywhere. So you want to have a different password for every application. You could use the suggested passwords that Apple or Google like to give you, but I prefer just to make it a little bit more personal and do something like Jon the Wireless Guy would be a great password. Throw spaces in between just like you were typing it out, throw an exclamation point at the end, change the E's to 3's, and you got a strong password.
Well, I'm not going to use that one now. But okay, that's great. So your top three in no particular order, we have your two-factor authentication, We have a backup, a secondary backup on the cloud. I used to plug in my iPhone to my computer and do a hard copy backup, but I haven't done that for a while. Do you recommend that as well?
It doesn't hurt. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
in redundancy, you can never be too redundant in life.
That's true.
Yeah, I have backups of my backups of my backups.
That's true. And of course, a very strong password. Now, in terms of our business owners out there that may have to do a little bit more, because obviously with a business, they may have a business that has devices that their employees have. What are some things they can do to help prevent?
Mobile device management is a big thing.
Okay.
MDM, we call it. Essentially, you have control over all your employees' devices, whether it's their cell phone, their computer. There's some great ones that Apple has put out, Apple MDM. There's Microsoft Intune, which we use a lot for folks that are using Office 365 for all their email and applications, and ties into your cell phone. You can enforce passwords, you can prevent different apps from being installed and allow only certain apps. And you can get real granular on how much control you have over your employees' devices.
Wow. So say if things don't go well and I'm the employee that's like, oh, I'm going to take this device and sell it and make some money and get one over on the boss, you're able to stop and like make that device dead basically remotely?
Yeah, you can wipe it remotely, you can lock them out of it, you can track its location, the whole 9 yards.
Wow, that is really good to know. Wow. Well, and let's call this a bonus round. What are some other things that you would recommend to anyone out there, whether they own a business or just, John Q. Public?
Yeah, on the business side, definitely have a firewall in your office to prevent anybody trying to get in from the outside world. Antivirus, no matter if it's personal or business, you want to make sure you have a good antivirus in place. Windows Defender on Microsoft really doesn't cut it, and on Apple they don't even give you one from the get-go. So you want to make sure you have a good antivirus in place.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, and I know everyone else does out there as well. If you need anything regarding everything this man just said, contact him today. I will put his information in the video. And thank you for coming out.
Yeah,
appreciate
absolutely.
You.
Appreciate it.
All right. Well, as always, like, subscribe, and make it a great day.